What's up, guys? I'm back. Gonna be doing another tier list of Resident Evil. Last one I did was about 3 weeks ago, and I think you guys seem to like it. So I am for sure going to do this and more in the future because I had fun making these, especially this one I came across right here. I was looking at all the Resident Evil tier lists that they have on this tier list maker website, and I found a Resident Evil 5 Mercenaries tier list. And if you guys know this channel, I'm all about RE5 Mercenaries. So I can't wait to get into this, and I'm trying to do the same thing as last time, where I did an S, A, B, C, D, and F tier, so I can arrange them better instead of having them all on like one column. So now that I've got that going, we can get started on the tier list. And these are the characters, 18 of them, got them all here. We're gonna start with Chris BSAA, who is the first one, and he is not a good one. I'm going according to how good I play as each of these characters, and in my memories, I don't play good as Chris. I just don't. It's hard. He's got the hardest setup. He's not the absolute worst, but he is one of. So we will put him down in D. Alright, so next up will be Chris Safari, and I like Chris Safari a bit more than Chris BSA. He's got the M3, a better shotgun, better handgun, the RPGs. It comes in handy, but still not the best. I'll put him in the B for right now. It's a pretty good spot for him, I would say. So yeah, we'll just leave him there. And moving on, we got Chris Stars. Chris Stars is a pretty good Chris out of the Chris's in Mercenaries. So I'm gonna have to put him in the A, because I know, thinking about it, I don't think he is my favorite Chris, but he is a really good one. So I will have to put him in the A. Now moving on to the Shivas for a bit. We've got Shiva BSAA, and I think this is hands down my least favorite person, and I think most people that play Resident Evil 5 Mercenaries would agree. So she is going down in the F. And next we've got Shiva Clubbin. So Shiva Clubbin isn't that good either. Her guns aren't the best. I'm gonna have to put her at the top of the D just for that. Her guns could have been better. Pretty lackey for Clubbin. But next we've got Shiva Tribal. And Shiva Tribal is a pretty good Shiva, in my opinion. The infinite bow. You just have to be able to hit. You don't really get too many chances for melees because the bow kills them so quickly. But in remembering doing Mercenaries, I do pretty good with Tribal most of the time. Okay, so now moving on to the two Jills of Mercenaries. And we're starting it off with Jill BSAA, which I'm just gonna have to put out there right now, is easily one of my favorites to play as. So she is going in the top of A. She's got that handgun that is a really good chance for a critical hit in the head, and the 5 flash grenades. But moving on to Jill Battlesuit now. This is the one I don't like so much. Actually, not at all. The machine gun is pretty weak. The sniper is okay, but it just doesn't compare to Jill BSAA. I think most people would agree with me on that one. So I'm gonna have to put her in C.
I don't believe it. You did that without any support?
Okay, so next is Wesker, and obviously Wesker Midnight, I gotta put him at S. Okay, so moving on now is Wesker Stars. And this is also a God tier, S tier character in Mercenaries, but not quite like Wesker Midnight. Wesker Stars is still really good though, so he's in the S tier. And next up is Chris Heavy Metal. And I don't like Chris Heavy Metal whatsoever because of how slow he is with the Gatling gun. And the stun rod doesn't do that good. Okay, so now next up is Shiva Fairy Tale. And Shiva Fairy Tale, easily one of the better characters, one of the best Shivas for Mercenaries. She comes with the 5 golden eggs, which I think is it's the most healing that anyone comes with in the Mercenaries. So you're set on heals if you're doing Shiva Fairy Tale. The shotgun isn't that good. The machine gun is pretty much all you can work with for guns. So I'm gonna put her in A, right with the majority of people that are in the A's. And next up will be Josh Stone. And Josh, when I think of Josh and Mercenaries, I think of it like Chris Safari, because they're the two with the RPGs. He's only got the one, but his handgun has like 100 bullets per clip. So that's like the starter handgun, but fully upgraded. So that's pretty good to work with. So I just think putting him with Chris Safari with the other RPG would be fair. I'll put him in the B with Chris Safari, 2 RPG guys. Makes sense to me. So next up will be Excella Gione, and she is actually one of the best characters. I always do really good whenever I play as her, so I think that just goes to show she is one of the best in Mercenaries. For her triple round burst handgun, which is the best handgun in the game, her grenade launcher, which if I remember correctly, I think it just comes with flash rounds, which is like best case scenario. So yeah, gotta put her in S tier. And now jumping right into the next one, Chris Warrior. I'm trying to make this a quicker video than the last tier list I did, because there's not as many to go through here. But next is Chris Warrior, and I think this might actually be the best Chris. Yeah, I would have to put this as the best Chris in the Mercenaries with his triple barrel shotgun, the Hydra. The handgun's pretty good. You can't go wrong with Chris Warrior. For some reason, I always do really good with him. I think keeping combos with the triple barrel, the Hydra, it helps. It's like really good. So yeah, I always do good with Chris Warrior. He's got to go up there. I'll put him right there in the middle of A. So next up we've got Shiva Business. And Shiva Business, again, I think this is the best Shiva of Mercenaries. One of the best characters of Mercenaries, because I always do really good at Shiva Business. They gave her the Lightning Hawk, and they give her the landmines too, but I always just discard those. I never use the landmines. That is just something useless. But still, I always do really good at Shiva Business. I'm gonna have to put her in the S tier, and yes, not only in the S tier, but above Excella. Not above the Weskers, but I always do really good at Shiva Business. It's the best Shiva. I just always thought it was. So, S tier for her. Okay, and next up we've got Barry Burton. And Barry's a really good character for Mercenaries. He doesn't have the best Magnum in the game, unfortunately. I would kind of think that he should, but I think one thing to point out about Barry is his melee attacks are really good. His headbutt that he does on the enemies pretty much most of the time will kill them right away. And most of his melee attacks are really good instant kills. So that is one good thing to point out about Barry. and one good reason to use him, because you can keep combos with that really easily and keep your time going. So yeah, put Barry at the bottom of A, and now we are finishing this off with Rebecca Chambers. And we put Barry at the bottom of A, so I'm just gonna put Rebecca at the top of A. Why not? Put her in there with the rest of the people in A, because Rebecca Chambers is actually one of the best. She could belong in the S tier as well, because they give her 2 first aid sprays, which does take up a lot of inventory, especially because they give you like 2 sets of machine gun ammo and 2 sets of shotgun shells, so that like fills up your inventory. And I know some people like to discard like some of that stuff, but I just roll with it. You don't have to worry about picking up ammo so much until the later game, and then you don't have to worry about heals so much too, unless you kill like a boss, and then you can pick up a first aid spray off of them. But yeah, that's it. So that's how it is. I think I did this tier list pretty good. I think there isn't really too much like big differences in how people would make a Mercenaries tier list. I mean, everyone, if they play the Mercenaries, they get a good understanding of who's good and who's not. I think it's quite obvious. I mean, if anything, some people might say that Chris Heavy Metal wouldn't belong at the bottom, but I don't like him at all, so I put him way down there. And yeah, that's it for this. I had a lot of fun doing this one. I'm glad I found the RE5 Mercenaries tier list, because I was really excited to do this when I saw it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do more tier lists in the future for Resident Evil. Leave a like down below if you want to see that, and I will try and get another tier list out soon. See you guys later.